Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia. Welcome back to our subscriber game tournament season 2 as we continue with group 3 as we have a match between red birds in the green versus Vermilion bird in the red. And yes, I did make this matchup because both of them have a very similar team name, and aside from that they do have the same time zone, same DLC, so it wasn't that forced. Now, looking at the compositions before we jump into the match, we have red birds with Wutugu leading the way, 6 javelin spear guards, very powerful units. Zhao Yun with 2 of the white horse fellow, providing fire arrow and also excellent range as well as good charge. This is probably the best horse archer unit. Then Cao Cao closes rank with 5 of the Qingzhou assault infantry. Probably my second favorite Qingzhou unit. I think the halberd's probably better because of the dismount potential in counter cavalry, but at least you have a shield in this case. But honestly, you probably don't need them to have a shield since you have turtle formation on the javelin spear guards, so you have something that can protect you from enemy range if they have range units at all, and you can probably just use more damage and counter cavalry options. The generals are pretty good. Zhao Yun is quite flexible, and you have smash abilities there. You have Wutugu ability, double speed up with Wutugu's Fury plus Cao Cao's Nature's Ally, so the general has really good pursuit options. Then looking on the red side, we have Vermilion Bird with a pretty interesting lineup of sort of these off-meta generals that's not very popular in the tournament. At least we haven't seen them very much so far. We have Sun Jian, who has a great weapon that gives him unbreakable, smash ability, roar ability for a sentinel, very useful. Then we have Kong Rong and Han Sui, who's making an appearance as a decent duelist, a sentinel who can bring the Qiang cavalry, which we have a couple here. And looking at the unit choices, we have 2 mercenary axe units. They are okay, mercenary infantry. Their weakness is lack of morale for the most part. Having an axe unit to counter a shield unit is an interesting choice. I don't hate it. Then the 4 Tiger Guard. This is something I dislike quite a bit, mainly because they are pretty pricey, but they're really just a spear guard with guard passive for your generals. You pretty much have to fight defensively to take advantage of that ability, as you would have to keep your generals close by. You lose that when you charge farther away from your formations, so it's a bit hard to use. You're paying a bit extra for that. A handmade guard might have been a better decision, since it looks like Vermilion Bird had a lot of money left over. There's a lot of rank up on the units. You have level 10 rank crossbowmen with really fast firing rate, which definitely hurts. And then you also have a repeating crossbowman who's rank 2. They actually kill cavalry very fast, but the problem is they have limited range. Then closing things up, we have 4 units of the Qiang shot cavalry and 2 of the militia melee cav, which is good for tanking enemy range. It's also a decent unit to harass generals, as most cavalry can basically rely on their speed for that purpose. And we'll see how things play out between these 2 sides with some very different general matchups that we haven't seen so far. So let's hop into match. Alrighty, so as we hop into deployment here, we can see that it's pretty defensive on both sides, especially Redbird's. He has a pretty solid defensive setup. We have Javelin Spear Guards in Turtle already, the Qingzhou Assault Infantry, and then 2 of the White Horse Fellow, very passive. Oh, this is interesting. He went with the Elephant on Wutugu. Now Wutugu's Elephant is only silver tier, so you're only going to have 1 damage ability. You still have all the passive boosts from Fury, but it is still a little bit limiting. I'm not sure if I love this choice. It's good for counter infantry, but you're essentially taking one of your generals out of the fight for the most part. Because elephants aren't really great general killers at this point. So this weapon's basically gone to waste. Your damage is just the elephant damage. Zhao Yun's going to be your main general killer with a very low damage weapon. Ooh, I'm not sure how this decision will play out. It's not very common we see the general upgraded to the elephant tier for the Nanman generals. Usually you want to keep them as fighters. Yeah, that's the only strange thing about this side. Then looking at Vermilion Bird, we have also pretty defensive setup. All the infantry is kind of in line. The range units are actually pretty forward. Oh, these are not just regular crossbow, they're Furia Beihai, so you got more range, more damage. They're gonna do pretty much lots of damage. 24 attack speed. Getting rank up on your range unit, really helpful. And Cornwall's picked just for that. We have a generic strategist essentially. A repeating crossbowman. You can see the typical crossbow reloading speed versus what we have here. Pretty insane difference. And Sun Jian with the smash ability, that's going to help him out. Impetuous charge could be good for infantry charging. Not sure which infantry. I guess we will have to just use the axe. It does counter all the shields, so it'd be pretty interesting to see how that works out. And then we also have a generic sentinel, basically. So curious to see how this comp plays out. The cavalry are spread out pretty far around. I think he's using the cavalry as scouting against a potential Yanbaihu play because he doesn't have foresight. So you can spread your more mobile unit out early to spot them and then just pull them back together once you see the enemy, they don't have Yanbaihu, you're safe to go. So let's see how this goes. I want to start here to see how the movement works. Interesting that the defensive setup is moving first. I guess he could take advantage of the forest and get the cavalry up there to start burning the forest. That will give him quite the advantage. We have the view of Red Bird, so we can't see the arrows for Vermilion Bird, but it looks like he's shifting his units up as well. The front line in front of the crossbow, which I believe are hidden. I think he put them in the forest. Tail Marauders, they are decent units, very high charge. Speed is a little bit lacking, but against... Yeah, they have the same speed as the White Horse fellow, so they could pull away. If they run for a long time, then obviously you tire them out, as they are fatiguing you. They stop running. They are going to get shot. Fire arrows, probably not your best friend at this point. I think it's probably better if they swap over to regular arrows since they're not looking to burn the target. They'll end up burning the units around them. Oh, see, you end up demoralizing yourself, giving you extra fatigue and extra damage by burning where you are. So he's gonna come in for that smash. As long as they keep moving, the smash is not going to do a lot of damage. The counterattack by the generals. Okay. I think they're just going to pull away here. Oh, Han Sui got stopped. Let's see if we can get out. The elephant's good for body blocking. Stunting that run. The roar, he's almost routing. He's at 15. He was a nigh for a moment. But they do have to run into these crossbows, which are still moving. The main issue, I think, for Redbird is no cavalry units. You only have 2 range cavalry units, which doesn't do you much good. I mean, they can be used as melee options since they do have high charge, but they don't have the finishing damage. It'd be interesting to see what happens once they walk into the crossbow range. There we go. And see how fast these get shredded. Yeah, the damage is piling on fast. Like, fire arrows also slowing down their attack rate, the firing rate. So they're actually firing slower than the crossbow unit. And the crossbow unit outnumbers them 4 to 1. Absolutely shredded here. Yeah, once they're gone, then you're really at the mercy of the setup, right? I think at this point, Vermilion Bird probably just want to move his line up slowly into this clearing, so the fire is not really affecting him, and then he can just fire at the Qingzhou unit, which, I guess thankfully they brought shield, but it's still gonna hurt. Ooh, running away is probably not the answer. I like the spread of the cavalry. You want as many angles as you can, and right now there's really no good fight for them. Alright, one smash by Zhao Yun. Probably used a little bit too early, only really got one of the cavalry. Petra's charge used. So Coral's not attending this fight, which is interesting. I don't know if it's actually going to hurt them, mainly because we also have an elephant on this side. Have active dismount by Hansui. He's going to try to use his fast attack speed, 55, to try to chunk fast on the ground. Well, the elephant's knocking him. He's getting back up. Oh, we got a dismount by Sun Jian as well, and Zhao Yun joins in the fight. Also ran away for some reason. Why abandon Zhao Yun in this case? Right, this was a dismount on purpose, but then Cao Cao just left. Zhao Yun routes. This was weird. Coral gave him the last strike. Now Cao Cao is chasing after crossbowmen? He doesn't have any smash abilities. He's not going to kill those. I think he kills like 20, and then the rest are going to be really slow, because the initial charge is good. He needs to peel back and charge again. This elephant choice is just weird. He's just not doing enough. It's odd, because Zhao Yun was told to dismount to fight, but Cao Cao was told to run away in that situation. Like, those are two very polar opposite commands. Alright, we got the flanking, trying to get to these assault infantry, which are not, you know, counter cavalry options. The fire is not very comfortable for them. They really should just move up at this point. There's no range on this side. Maybe he's scared of elephant. That is a worthwhile concern. Your cavalries don't have to commit either. You just have to kind of stand right here and be like, what are you going to do about it, right? You're going to force them to keep microing their units around. Vermilion Bird's doing a great job of keeping the Tiger Guards actually close to the general for the guard passive. But as they march out into the open, crossbowmen unleash? Yeah. And the problem here is, while Team Zhou units are great in melee combat against other infantry, they're really bad against smashes. And they're just walking through the crossbow damage. The turtle unit should be actively charging. They should be the one trying to get the Fury Badge to shoot at them, because the AI will actually fire at turtle units with the fire well to make it more uncomfortable for the fire well. Oh, did Hansui get knocked off? No way. He dismounted by himself. I think he's just trying to use as much of this attack speed as he can, which is his main goal, since this is really just a dueling general. Yeah, the cavalry didn't commit here, although the javelin's probably going to do something. Oh, the problem here is, yeah, the moving. They should just be moving over here. Rear charge on melee infantry. I think halberds are just the better choice. You will do better in these fights, getting debuffed. Alright, how's the elephant doing? Trying to do some damage to the infantry. Or not. He is. Here's the charge on Tiger Guards. Smash, smash. I'm just not sure this is what you need from a general. Like, any general with Flame the Phoenix can do the same exact job and probably do it better. Let's look at this micro in the forest. He's fighting this one guy, can't get a charge. Enemy general's coming to whack you. Let's see how this attack speed works against Elephant. I would think with such a big... Did he go under him? Okay, he went behind. I mean, there's only so much damage Cao Cao can do. Mainly because he has no ability that can do damage. So he's literally, you know, forced to just fight. Alright, the Qingzhou units maybe will kill Han Sui off here. Cao Cao pulls back to his turtled up units over there. Han Sui's beat. That is a good sign. Alright, Cao Cao trying to pick off Sun Jian. Not sure if he's able to. Depends on if Sun Jian fights back or not. No, he's just peeling away. But the elephants can kill these. Ooh, Han Sui bounced back. Okay. Alright, that's a good trade. We got rid of all the Tiger Guards, I believe. Maybe one left. One left. Three. They got rid of 3. They're retreating back to their Javelin Spear Guard formation. These should move, right? They can fire while moving in Turtle, so just start moving up. I think Sun Jian's going to be the key, because he's the unbreakable target. If he dies, they can probably overwhelm these units and just make them feel the army loss. Because mercenary infantry don't have that much morale. The Tiger Guard's probably the toughest one to rout of all the units at the end. And perhaps the melee cav as well, but they do have roars on the elephant, which is worth a good 18 points. I wonder if he can get any value from these repeating crossbowmen. He could walk up, he has more range than the javelin, and maybe just try to shoot the elephant down. That's a big target. Okay, elephant charging. Let's see if the crossbowmen can do something here. They're still moving, so they can't fire. The javelin's kind of wasted here. It's a shield wall, a beautiful shield wall formation. It did negate the damage because obviously they're braced and they're on the sentinel. So you see the splash, but no one really dies from that. Oh, the crossbow is hitting now. Charge negation helps quite a bit here. I wonder if they can kill him. Okay, the axe units against the shielded infantry, they're gonna shine here. Especially since, oh, the pileup is not great. You want to spread out. Also, I was going after the range unit. The elephant's coming in for a charge when they're not braced because they're busy fighting. Get a roar in. Oh, can't roar now because Cornwall's here. The key is killing Sun Jian here. If they can kill Sun Jian, that's a win. Oh, They got Cao Cao with the repeating crossbowman. Yeah, trying to run away doesn't really help. And down goes the elephant. Now it's just cleaning up. Sun Jian still has Flame of the Phoenix, which should clean up without any concerns. Yeah, those cavalries can't do anything against these units, so they didn't engage and just die for no reason. Ooh. It doesn't really hurt. It's all base damage. Can this really be happening? If the javelins can hit enough on Sun Jian here, that's the secret. So he has to use Sun Jian to try to win this. I would push in a formation just to get some javelins on him. 13k health. It might be too many. Ooh. Cavalry will lose here. They need to just, yeah, toss the couple of javelins. You can see these units have all very low morale. Kill Sun Jian. Kill Sun Jian. That's the key. He's gonna smash. He has the cooldown. Ooh. That might have won the game right there. Can they shoot a couple of javelins? They need to be in formation to shoot javelins while moving. They should just try to turtle or something. And then fire. What are they doing? What are they doing? Formation first. Stop moving. Set up a formation. Oh, don't throw the javelin at this. Don't throw the javelin at this. Those javelins might be the only way to win, because they need to kill Sun Jian with them. But I don't think they did. Sun Jian's waiting for the cooldown for Flame of the Phoenix. And he's going to run in here and just do one more. He's unbreakable, which is the reason why they will win this. Cavalry charge. Not that important. That turned out a lot closer. I think if the javelins all charged together a little bit earlier when the generals were still alive and the elephants were still alive and they actually got the fight, it probably would have worked out better. Of course, I think the biggest mistake is Zhao Yun dismounting and then everyone else leaving him there. That play didn't make a lot of sense, because Zhao Yun basically had Sun Jian's job in the army because he's the Flame of the Phoenix user, especially since he went away from another splash attack with Utugul with the elephant choice. So that was probably the biggest misplay that swung the match. Aside from that, it ended up a lot closer. I think the unit quality is still an issue, which is why Vermilion Bird's generals are sort of what I say off meta, because the units just aren't that great, you know, in this competition, you know, running even to the Nanman Javelin Spear Guard, which is not a super premium unit, but it's definitely high value because it's pretty cheap. And all the Qingzhou units, they still struggled quite a bit. And let's see the damage. Right, so Sun Jian MVP, the only reason they won here, I still don't like his retinue. I think they're definitely on the weaker side, which holds him back. I think the unit that would benefit the most on him is probably a few of the Handmaid Guard, maybe one or two if you want to sustain that guard passive. Much more mobile option compared to Tiger Guards, which are also not that great in melee. But then if you look at the rest of the roster, I guess you could spend money on maybe some melee infantry for Han Sui. I mean, Han Sui is also a weird choice, because like, what's the best unit you can get on him aside from maybe Tiang units? It's rather limited. So just a weird collection of generals, but in the end, they clutched the win. Very good outplay. I mean, I don't even know if it's outplay, but Zhao Yun got abandoned and Zhao Yun got picked on, killed off, and then Cao Cao has no offensive abilities. He tried his best. You can see a general who has no offensive ability. If you actually use him, he can do a decent amount of damage. You can trade away at least 1 or 2 units with that much damage, because most units route off around half health. And then the elephant choice was a bit interesting. I don't think it's entirely wrong. It's still a really good infantry killer, but it does take away from a lot what you're trying to do, and you're also paying extra for it. It's 1,500 for the tier 3 general for all Naman generals, and 2,000 for the elephant. And in this case, because I think we have a passive ability Fury that goes through, you can only get a silver elephant, so the stat on the elephant's not as good as the generals that get a gold elephant, but you do keep that speed up passive, which I don't think was utilized very much, so I don't know if that's worth it. Maybe any of the other Naman general would have gotten you the same exact thing, and perhaps even unbreakable on those guys with the gold elephant would be even better, because elephant damage is based on quality of the elephant, and gold elephant obviously has not only one extra damage ability, but also straight up more damage on them as well. So that was probably another interesting decision there. But overall, good match, back and forth, especially at the end there, as Sun Jian helped Vermilion Bird pull it out with 16 minutes. But this does mean that this was the slower matchup, and Deed will be getting side selection when he meets Vermilion Bird in round 2. So we'll see that next week. And until then, bye!